Mi gente, capítulo 33 de Persona 4 Golden. No sabemos dónde está Teddy, estamos en el día 3 de diciembre, el mejor tipo de hambre y poquito más. Vamos a ver cómo avanza la noche. Recuerdo de que está todo en YouTube y de que cualquier comentario ayuda muchísimo. Nanako se pondrá bien. Y luego está lo que ocurrió en la habitación del hospital de Namatame. Ha empezado a nevar y la niebla no se levanta. ¿Qué te espera a partir de ahora? Sientes mucho cansancio. Deberías irte pronto a descansar lo que queda del día. Descansar. Es...
Welcome. It's been quite some time.
Parece que te han convocado en la habitación de terciopelo.
Do not be alarmed. You are fast asleep in the real world. I have summoned you within your dreams. Now then, your journey has taken you quite a distance thus far. Do you believe you'll be able to successfully solve this mystery?
Puedo resolverlo.
Splendid! The precise destination of this vehicle, that too is getting rather hard to judge. If we continue driving blindly, we may end up leading you further away from the mystery that you must reach. Well, why don't we take a moment to look back on your journey? It was for that purpose that I summoned you here tonight. Margaret?
En tu cabeza resuenan voces que has oído ya muchas veces.
We are experiencing the words engraved into your memory during your journey.
Failing to understand and failing to listen are rather different things.
All right, let's go ahead and think this through as much as we need.
If we leave any unanswered questions behind, we'll just be lying to ourselves.
I'll think as hard as I can and try to help.
Come on, we've accomplished this much together, haven't we?
Right. Together.
And it seems you have comrades with you as well. Those heading in the same direction through this dense fog.
Parece que el coche se ha parado.
We'll be parked for the moment while I confirm our current heading.
As I mentioned previously, this year will signal a great change in your life. Though there isn't much time left, it can be worth your while to take the time to stop and reflect.
People are like water flowing in a river. There is only one stream, but all who pass through it are affected differently. Some travel fast, some change their course, experiencing countless events as they travel down the river of time.
Just so. The state of this room reflects the scenery of your heart. Perhaps this may be a time for contemplation rather than action.
Oyes algo a lo lejos. Parece que estabas dormido. Oyes que suena el timbre. Parece que hay alguien en la puerta.
Teddy's missing. I looked all over the neighborhood, but I couldn't find him anywhere.
Me preocupa.
Yeah, me too. He was acting all weird lately. Rise and the others are checking inside the TV to see if he's gone back to the other side. We're meeting pretty soon, so will you come with me to Jeunesse?
¿A dónde habrá ido Teddy? En cualquier caso, has decidido ir a buscarlo.
It's no use, man. We can't find him.
No luck for me either. I didn't sense anything over there. The fog's so dense it might be affecting my readings. I wish I could do better. I'm sorry.
Ted. Don't tell me he really went back to his world this time. We told him over and over that he could stay here.
¿Te acuerdas del misterioso sueño que tuviste anoche? Igor dijo, tal vez este sea un momento para reflexionar, en vez de para entrar en acción, pero... Pensemos bien en esto.
I guess that's all we can do right now. He plays dumb a lot, but he's attached to us deep down. He wouldn't disappear without saying anything, right?
I'm worried for Teddy myself, but let's trust in him and await his return. Right now we must concentrate on the case. It won't be long before Namatame is transferred to another location. We must hurry, or we will miss our only chance to get his perspective on this.
You know, I've been thinking about the case since, but something just doesn't seem right.
Let's quickly review the facts. Of all the victims, only 2 were killed, Miss Yamano the announcer and Saki-san. From the documents we found in the car, we know Namatame had some sort of dealings with them. After that, there were multiple attempted murders in which we were targeted. It was only when he took Nanako-chan that we caught him in the act, identifying his modus operandi in the process.
When I hear you put it like that, sounds like the dude's guilty.
As a result of Namatame's arrest, the police admitted that Mitsuo Kubo was a mere copycat killer.
Back up to yesterday. Remember when you said Namatame didn't have a motive to kill the announcer? That's what's bothering me.
Right. Either he's completely nuts, or we're misunderstanding something.
You lost me.
She's trying to say that if Namatame is sane, then there may be facts in the case we don't know about yet.
Sane or insane? Sounds like a play I saw before.
When he talks about saving people, what does that actually mean? I don't think there's any doubt that it includes kidnapping people and throwing them into the TV.
Could he mean saving them through death? He did call himself a savior and said that the other side is a wonderful world.
So they'll be saved if they die? What a bunch of crap! The bastard should have gone and saved himself! What do you think, Senpai?
Tiene que haber algo más.
If you think about it normally, it's gotta be him. But there ain't nothing normal about that world anyways.
There's something I've been wondering about for a while. When we first encountered him, he said, "You're the ones I saved. Don't worry, I'll save this girl too." So, if he saves people by killing them, did he save us too? Wouldn't he actually have failed to save us?
You raise a good point. If he thinks that salvation comes only through death, his words to us make no sense. And another thing, the Namatame who appeared on the Midnight Channel said he failed to save Nanako-chan.
Well, maybe he really was trying to save the victims by putting them inside the TV. Come on, don't get all quiet like that. You guys know I just say the first dumb thing that pops into my head.
The possibility that he truly intended to save us.
But he's still the one who threw in Saki-senpai and that announcer, right? Sure, we haven't nailed down his motives, but that doesn't change the fact that he killed them. Or what? You think someone else was involved? What makes you think so?
La posibilidad de que haya otro culpable aparte de Namatame, ¿hay algo que pueda demostrarlo? ¿Alguna opción, gente? El asesino imitador no es. A prisa, elijan otra. Las cartas de advertencia.
Morning letter? Oh yeah! Whatever happened to that thing?
If Namatame's the killer, he must have been the one who wrote it, right?
Let's review them.
¿Recuerdas que la primera carta de advertencia decía dejad de rescatar? Y la segunda, si no paráis, esta vez alguien cercano a vosotros acabará dentro y morirá.
Yes, that's right.
Isn't that kinda odd? Would someone who thinks he's saving people by killing them write stuff like don't rescue or kill?
Yeah, and the will be put in and killed part doesn't make sense either. If the killer was writing it, wouldn't it be more like I'll put in and kill?
Hey, could this mean...
¿Y ahora? ¿Namatame las escribió mal? ¿Las cartas no eran para mí? ¿O Namatame no las escribió? ¿La tercera?
Yeah. It's almost like someone else wrote this letter.
But only the killer would write such a letter and deliver it to Dojima-san's house, right? If someone else wrote it, that could only mean...
Dear God. Since this is such an unusual case, I was absolutely convinced that other than the Kubo incident, there was one culprit.
So Namatame really was trying to save his victims?
Everything is exactly the opposite of what it first seemed. In Namatame's parlance, failing would have been the first two cases when the victims died. If he had used his method twice and failed both times, he would hardly have continued using the TV, and yet he did. It all seems to suggest that someone else wrote this warning letter while observing the entire case.
Someone else? Then... it wasn't Namatame that killed Saki-senpai and the announcer?
We can't say for certain yet. We urgently need to speak with Namatame face to face.
Habéis trabajado todos juntos para dar otro paso hacia la verdad.
How though? After what happened yesterday, they said they're gonna tighten security.
I have a plan. But there's no time to waste. Let's hurry to the hospital.
Hey, this place is off limits.
I'm a consultant with the police. I'd like a few words with Namatame-san. May I go in?
This is Unit 252, requesting confirmation on an ID. Name of Naoto Shirogane. Huh? Ah, understood. I see. Well, you're on the list. I can give you a few minutes, but I'll have to record your conversation with him for security purposes. Not that I expect you'll get anything coherent out of the guy. He's been spouting nothing but gibberish.
I'd like him to accompany me as well. He has no identification, but this is an emergency situation, and he's here in Detective Dojima's stead.
Huh? Detective Dojima sent him? I wasn't informed of this.
I'll vouch for his identity.
Well, I guess it's better than dealing with the man himself. We have our hands full with the transport procedures, so the last thing we need is Detective Dojima running wild. Detective Adachi is busy somewhere too. This is Unit 252. Huh? I see.
Has something happened?
There's something about a suspicious object out in the lobby.
Ah, well then, this works out nicely. You should back up your colleagues downstairs. We'll keep watch over Namatame-san. A disturbance in a hospital lobby, after all. It sounds serious.
If anything happens, hit the nurse call button. I'll leave the rest to you.
Understood. Please be careful. I knew they were undermanned, but I didn't expect it to go this smoothly.
Wow!
There's nothing much inside that suspicious object, so he won't be gone long.
All right, then now's our chance to talk to Namatame.
Namatame-san, there's something we'd like to ask you. It's tempting to think that you were the culprit behind this entire case. And to be honest, there are many in this town who hope you are. But we are here to learn the truth. So please, answer our questions.
Huh?
Parece que entiende lo que estáis diciendo. ¿Qué quieres preguntarle? Mi gente, ¿cuáles son las preguntas que queremos hacer? ¿Cuál es la primera? ¿A quién metiste primero en la tele? ¿Mataste a esas dos chicas o salvas a las personas matándolas? Ha votado la tercera. ¿Salvas a las personas matándolas?
No. If nobody saves them, they'll be killed. That's why I put them in there.
¿Qué quieres preguntarle? ¿A quién metiste primero en la tele?
Huh? Me?
¿Qué quieres preguntarle? ¿Mataste a esas dos chicas?
They were killed. I couldn't save them.
Then tell me if my estimation is correct so far. After discovering the Yamano and Konishi incidents, you realized an appearance on the Midnight Channel meant certain death. Thus, to save her from that fate, you kidnapped Yukiko Amagi. You couldn't let her be killed, so you threw her into the TV, preventing the killer in this world from reaching her. And you repeated the process, as more individuals appeared on the Midnight Channel. It all falls into place. His body is weak, but his mind is sound. He's trying to tell us the truth.
Yeah, but if the stuff he's saying is true...
There's another killer who murdered the first two victims?
Indulge us in a few more questions.
¿Qué quieres preguntarle? ¿Quién mató a Yamano y a Konishi? ¿Por qué mandaste las cartas? ¿Por qué entraste en la tele? ¿Con cuál queremos empezar, mi gente? ¿Por qué mandaste las cartas?
What are you talking about?
¿Qué quieres preguntarle? ¿Por qué entraste en la tele?
I didn't know. I never thought it would be that kind of place.
¿Qué quieres preguntarle? ¿Quién mató a Yamano y a Konishi?
I have no idea. I want to know that too.
As I thought.
You believe me? Did they find him? Did they find the one who did such cruel things? Mayumi.
Please calm down. Our ability to find the culprit rests on you. We know about the other world. In fact, we're the only ones who can fully understand what you have to say.
Only you?
We did blame you for everything at first. But now I think we can accept whatever you got to tell us as truth.
Please. Tell us everything you can, calmly and slowly.
You're willing to listen? Do my story? All right. Soon after my affair with Mayumi became common knowledge, I returned to my parents' home, as if to run away from the scandal. And I started drinking heavily to drown my anxieties. I hadn't been able to reach Mayumi at all, and that didn't help either. Mayumi, where are you? She'd been disgraced on all the afternoon shows and forced to resign from the program she was on. I caused her so much trouble. I wanted to at least apologize to her, but I couldn't even do that. I lost the will and energy to do anything. Then, one day, the rumor I heard some time ago came back to me. Since I had nothing better to do, I sat down blankly in front of the TV and watched my own reflection. And all of a sudden, there was Mayumi. Mayumi? Is that you? The Mayumi inside the TV looked as if she was calling to me for help. Mayumi? Mayumi! When I reached out unthinkingly to touch her, my arm disappeared into the TV, as if I had dipped it into a pool of water. I was so shocked that I lost my balance and nearly fell face first into the TV. I was so scared. I couldn't understand what just happened. I thought maybe I'd gone insane. In the end, I decided to think of it as just a dream, and I went back to the city the next day after finishing work. The next afternoon when I got to work, I was fired on the spot, as I expected. That wasn't what broke me, though. It was Mayumi being found dead. And not just that, but it had happened in my hometown.
Namatame baja la vista, apesadumbrado.
I was dumbstruck. But later on, I remembered the image of Mayumi I'd seen that night. Was it not a dream? Could it really have been an SOS from Mayumi? I hadn't touched another TV because the first time was so terrifying, but I decided to try it again. And I confirmed that none of it was a dream. So that image, was it something Mayumi showed me, calling for help? That's how I felt.
And eventually, you learned of the Midnight Channel.
I remembered that when Mayumi was alive, she was chasing a rumor about some bizarre TV program. I'd heard about it before, but I thought it was just an urban legend. But then Mayumi appeared on it, and later turned up dead. The more I thought about it, the harder it became to believe that the two events were unrelated. Soon after that, I came back to Inaba to answer the police's questions. I'd lost my job, and I wanted to know the truth of Mayumi's death for myself. Then, on another rainy night, someone else appeared on the Midnight Channel. She looked like she was calling for help, just like Mayumi. The first thing that came into my mind was, Maybe this girl will be the next to die.
And that was Saki-senpai.
I'd been following all the news about Mayumi, so I noticed right away that she was the girl who found Mayumi's body. And if my hunch was right, she'd be the next victim. I didn't want her to die the way Mayumi did. So I desperately kept watching. I was consumed with the idea of rescuing her. Then, little by little, her image on the screen came into sharper focus.
It became sharper?
How did you find out it was her?
After I came back, my father couldn't bear to see me in such low spirits, and gave me a job with the family business. I met that girl when I delivered a package to the liquor store. After agonizing over it, I decided to meet her, and told her to be careful. But that same night, on the TV, she looked as if she was being engulfed by some black shape. She was writhing in pain. That's why I warned her. Why won't she pick up the phone? Come on, please! The next day, they found her dead. I knew she was going to be murdered, but I couldn't save her. I blamed myself, thinking there must have been something I could have done. There was no one who depended on me. Nobody at work, not even my wife. Mayumi was the only one who accepted me for who I was. But she was murdered, and the same person killed another girl. I was beside myself. I couldn't forgive myself for doing nothing.
You really did love Miss Yamano.
Yes, from the bottom of my heart. Before I was married, my wife made it big in show business. I was happy for her, but it put a strain on our relationship.
I think I can kind of relate.
It was around that time when I met Mayumi. She was interviewing our candidate for the next election. She was a big-name announcer, but she only worked with local stations, and her attitude towards work was similar to mine. We both came from Inaba, so she was easy to talk to. I knew it was wrong, but I couldn't help getting intimate with her. She gave meaning to my life. Soon after Saki-san was found dead, yet another girl appeared on TV. That was you. She'll be kidnapped next, and murdered. I can't let her end up like Mayumi and that other girl. This time, I'm gonna do something. My opponent was a murderer who left no clues to his identity. I thought hard about what I could do to protect her from someone like that. I'll never convince her. If she gets suspicious and they arrest me, who'll save her then? The girl inside the TV looked as if she was smiling at me. And that's when it hit me. I apparently had the power to go through the TV screen to the other side. Then, what if I put her into the TV and give her shelter there before the killer gets her? What are you trying to tell me? That it's safe over there? Is that it? The girl inside the TV seemed to smile at me again. And I thought, No matter what kind of place it might be, it's better than being slaughtered. Once things calm down, I could just let her out again. If she's inside the TV, there's no way they can find her. It felt as if everything was starting to come together in my mind. Could it be that Mayumi gave me that power to prevent any more victims from meeting her fate? Was it my mission to save people? But there was a big problem. If I explained the situation to the victim, they wouldn't understand. I had already tried that and failed miserably. It seemed the only thing I could do was to take them away. If that was my mission, I'd just have to do it. Or so I thought. Mayumi, please lend me your strength.
So, since you thought people who appeared on the Midnight Channel would be killed, you kidnapped us in order to save us.
Mission? Give me a break! You never stopped and wondered about any of this?
I thought I was the only one who could help them. I did call the police, but they didn't believe me. I knew the area well, thanks to my job. I had a large truck, and I could move around without suspicion. I thought my job as a delivery man would be the perfect cover for my mission. I thought no one else could do it. But are you telling me that I wasn't saving them?
If a person is still within the TV world when the fog appears here, they will die. Beginning with Yukiko-san, the people you thought you had been saving were, in fact, in mortal peril. It was my friends here who really saved us all.
I had a feeling that was it. When I went after that little girl and entered the TV myself, for the first time, I had some doubts about myself.
You refer to Nanako-chan, correct?
The police were after me, so I had to get away. But I still felt I needed to do everything I could to save that poor little girl. That's why I went in after her. But the TV world was completely different than I imagined. Such an abominable, grotesque place. I knew that the three of you who I saved went back to your normal lives, so I didn't realize how terrible that world was. I never knew you couldn't even get out of that place on your own.
No, that's a cowardly way to put it. I'd probably already begun to realize that it was a dangerous place. If I hadn't, I wouldn't have gone to see you all.
See us? Wait, are you talking about the concert we did at Junes?
Yes. I wanted to know why the ones I saved were all hanging out with each other, and how much you remembered. But in the end, I couldn't bring myself to say anything and ran home. I must have felt too guilty. But all the doubts and anxieties I'd been unconsciously suppressing exploded out when I entered the television myself. I thought I was going insane. I probably did. And you know the rest. When I came to, I was lying in a hospital bed.
You really were trying to save people.
But I ended up doing just the opposite. What a fool. I always wanted to enter the world of politics and become useful to society. But after losing my job and the woman I loved, all I had left was this power. I convinced myself that world was some sort of sanctuary, and I secretly believed myself to be a hero. I never doubted what I saw on TV and believed everything was as I wanted it to be. I didn't think for myself at all. That's why I couldn't protect them. I'm to blame for all of this.
Sigue siendo imperdonable.
Yes, I agree. I have no intentions of running away from my crimes. I'm prepared to face the consequences. Kidnapping is already a serious crime, and on top of that, I put all those lives in danger. I'm sorry.
The Midnight Channel and the other world, you can hardly be blamed for failing to understand them properly. We must apologize to you as well. Had we let our emotions blind us to the truth, we would have piled all the responsibility on you.
I guess from your point of view, people did stop dying once you started saving people. The more you did it, the more you really believed you were preventing their deaths.
I'm such a joke. I'm sorry. I'm getting a little tired.
What are you all crammed in here for?
My apologies. We'll be leaving now.
Wait. I beg you, please, find whoever's behind this. You children are the only ones who know about that world.
Eso haremos.
It's all clear now. He never committed any murders. It was another party who threw the first 2 victims into the TV.
Estás un paso más cerca de la verdad.
Now get out of here! I told you, he's almost ready to be transported. We can't have anything else happen. Sheesh. I better not see you rascals here again.
Nanako-chan looks like she's in pain. She's fighting for dear life.
This was the last place we saw Teddy, right? He was so worried about her.
How can he flake out like this when we have to find the real killer?
The police consider the matter closed. We'll have to do all the investigation from here on out. Let's revisit Saki-san and Miss Yamano's incidents and see if we can turn up fresh details.
But it's been over 6 months. Wouldn't the trail be cold by now?
I know, but we can't give up. We're the only ones who understand what's really going on. And you never know. People might remember some things now because they've had so much time to think about it. Let's split up and talk to people all over town tomorrow. We'll meet up in the evening to discuss our findings.
I hope we can find out something about Teddy, too.
Mañana saldréis todos a hablar con la gente del pueblo. ¿Os ayudará eso a encontrar información que os lleve por fin al verdadero culpable? Has decidido volver pronto a casa hoy para descansar. ¿Qué tal lo llevamos, mi gente? 69 horas y media. Por esto mismo, el otro día paramos tan prontito el episodio, porque ya veis, llevamos ahora mismo 40 minutos y no hemos hecho absolutamente nada. Ha sido todo texto. Una ingente cantidad de texto. Deberías irte a dormir pronto para estar listo para investigar mañana. Ir a mimir. Tu mimir. Hoy es el aniversario de la fundación del instituto, así que no tienes clase. Tienes que investigar el pueblo. Te preguntas si serás capaz de recopilar la información que necesitas para atrapar al asesino. ¿Seremos capaces, mi gente? Aquí va a estar cerrado, ¿no? Pues vamos a la comercialidad de la calle. Señora, ¿puedo ayudarte? ¿Sobre los asesinatos, el incidente de la pasada primavera? Sigo sin saber qué pasó. Parece que fue algo gordo, ¿no? Ya casi ni me acordaba del tema. Vaya, la edad no perdona, ¿eh? ¿Me vas a decir nada más? No. Vale. Alumna, ¿qué pasa? Sobre los asesinatos, ¿eh? ¿De qué estás hablando? Le explicas lo del incidente en el que se vieron involucradas Saki y Yamano, la presentadora. ¿Todo eso sucedió la pasada primavera? Parece que fue hace un siglo. ¿Quién va a recordar algo que pasó hace tanto tiempo? Pues alguien que no tenga Alzheimer, crack. ¿Quién fuera esos cascos para lamerte las orejas, guapo? Tenemos fecha de boda ya. Ácido. ¿Qué tal está, guapísimo? Me alegro de verte. Seguro que esta niebla es algún tipo de arma biológica. Es una conspiración. ¿Sabes quién he oído que está detrás de esto? El Yunés. Sí, efectivamente. El país del Yunés está orquestando un ataque a gran escala contra Inaba. ¿Don José Yunés? Don José Yunés es el mismísimo. Hola, Yukiko. Menos mal que hace que no te de banear. Esa por no dar el mensaje. Pues sí. Oye, escucha esto. Risechi ha venido y me ha hablado. Esto solo pasa una vez en la vida. Le he pedido un autógrafo y le he preguntado qué tipo de chicos le gustan. Eres un hombre adulto, crack. En fin, ¿qué quieres? Ya ves lo ocupado que estoy. Sobre los asesinatos... ¿No habían capturado al sospechoso y cerrado el caso? ¿Has acabado de hacer preguntas? Bien, pues vete. Estoy muy ocupado hablando con Risechi. Risechi, vámonos de aquí. He preguntado por ahí sobre Teddy. Es increíble la cantidad de gente que se acuerda de él. Dicen cosas como, ah sí, el chaval con el traje de oso del Yunés. Pero nadie lo vio ni ayer ni hoy. Le cae genial a mucha gente diferente. ¿Dónde demonios se habrá metido? Vamos a ver. Señora. La niebla es oscura y tenebrosa, ¿eh? Ah, ¿quieres preguntarme algo? Sobre los asesinatos... Hace no mucho anunciaron que habían atrapado a un sospechoso. Salió en el periódico. Fue ese tal Namatame, ¿no? Me acuerdo de haberlo visto por ahí alguna que otra vez. Ay, qué horror. Eso sí que me da miedo. No recuerdo ver a nadie más con pinta extraña. Seguro que es el culpable. ¿Es verdad que no había más sospechosos? A lo mejor deberías preguntarle a alguien más. ¿Tú solo tienes lo de la misión? La niebla no escampa, aunque el año esté a punto de acabar. Es deplorable. Va a hacer tanto frío en Año Nuevo que no podré ser feliz nunca. ¿Qué quieres? Sobre los asesinatos... No recuerdo nada de hace tanto tiempo. Ah, casi se me olvida. Estoy deseando que me traigas carbón bueno. Ya, bueno, yo... ¿Me entiendo, no? ¿Recuerda a alguien sospechoso? No hay nadie así en el pueblo. Hasta sé quién eres tú. Eres el chaval que vive en casa de Dojima. Que sí, que me dejes. Espera. Tú no tienes ninguna pregunta extra, ¿no? ¿Recuerda a alguien sospechoso? ¿Que si he visto a alguien extraño aparte de Namatame? Pues no, no lo creo. Como todo el mundo está hablando del supuesto veneno, hasta a mí me ha entrado algo de miedo. ¿Dónde podría comprar una máscara de gas? Necesito una. Todos tienen la suya. ¿Y no me dejas preguntarte? A ver tú. Malo de Metal Gear. Psycho Mantis. Soy yo. ¿No me reconoces? ¿Que por qué salgo? Si me quedo en casa solo veo noticias sobre asesinatos. Pensé en salir para ver la puesta de sol, aunque en cuanto llegue a casa pondré la tele. Pero no puedo ver la puesta de sol por toda esta niebla. ¡Qué rabia! Es muy deprimente. Ah, ¿tienes una pregunta? Tengo dos. Sobre los asesinatos. Venga ya, no hagas que me deprima aún más. Han dicho en las noticias que han atrapado al sospechoso. Así que ese tema está zanjado, ¿no? ¿Qué más puede haber? ¿Recuerda a alguien sospechoso? Es un pueblo pequeño. Si hubiera alguien sospechoso, habría rumores al respecto por todas partes. Al menos yo no me he enterado de ningún rumor de ese estilo, así que diría que no hay nadie así. Debes ir con cuidado si sales en moto un día de niebla. Ojalá entendiera eso la persona que me ha pitado por reducir la velocidad más de lo normal. Esto ya lo habíamos leído. Vale. Vamos al santuario, maybe. Niño pusilánime. Lo sé todo. Ah, no, tú no eres el pusilánime. Perdón. Niño pusilánime. La profe nos mandó a casa por culpa de la niebla. Qué gusto no tener a las chicas persiguiéndome. Pero ahora me aburro porque no puedo jugar al fútbol. Lo de pusilánime me encanta. Es el título a poner. Yo no lo puedo hacer en la oficina porque se considera bullying y me pueden despedir, pero me fliparía, ¿eh? Trabajador pusilánime, tú, me parto los huevos. Hola, Pirony. Hola, Tigretón. ¿Qué tal, bonito? ¿Cómo estás? No sé si vamos a poder repreguntar a alguien por aquí. ¿Recuerda a alguien sospechoso? No me suena haber visto a nadie sospechoso. Excepto a ti, que estás interrumpiendo mi conversación con Risechi. Me flipa la normalización de ser un puto pervertido acosador. Ah, de niñas. Está guay. A ver. No le puedo preguntar al conspiranoico. ¿Recuerda a alguien sospechoso? ¿Alguien extraño? No he visto a nadie así. A ver, es un pueblo bastante pequeño, ¿no crees? Yo diría que si lo hubiera visto, me acordaría. ¿Me he despertado? Que me quedé dormido. Joder, la buena vida, tú. Así sí, ya ves. ¿Recuerda a alguien sospechoso? ¿Una persona sospechosa? No se me ocurre nadie. Nadie del pueblo, al menos. Tenemos que ir a... Madrugo que flipas. Entonces ya hasta la noche no puedo dormir. Vale, tú solo tienes la misión. ¿Y usted tiene solo la misión? Un lugar caluroso y húmedo. No quiero seguir hablando con usted. La niebla no se levanta. ¿No te parece un poco raro? Mi esposa sigue en las mismas, trabajando, pero estoy preocupado. Por cierto, ¿necesitas algo? Sobre los asesinatos... Disculpa, solo recuerdo que pasó algo. Sé que fue muy impactante, pero ¿qué quieres que te diga? Ha pasado mucho tiempo. ¿Recuerda a alguien sospechoso? Viene mucha gente a nuestra tienda, pero nadie me ha parecido especialmente sospechoso. ¿No vamos a tener suerte? Gatito. Ah, no he pescado. ¿Necesitas algo? Sobre los asesinatos. Ahora que lo mencionas, el pueblo estuvo patas arriba la primavera pasada. ¿Te acuerdas, verdad? ¿Te he preguntado yo? ¿Recuerda a alguien sospechoso? ¿Que si he visto a alguien extraño? No sé. En el campo, si hay alguien raro merodeando por la zona, se corre la voz en cuestión de horas. Ya, pero es que ninguno os estáis fijando en nada. Vale, cambiamos de idea. Vamos a ver si hay alguien donde nuestra casa. No están ni los gatos, ¿eh? Buenas, ¿necesitas plantones? No, quiero hablar. Al final, mi suegra no quiso probar nada de lo que preparé. Y la niebla tampoco se ha ido. Supongo que dejaré de ir a su casa. ¿Te imaginas que salga esas nieblas aquí? Yo lo más espeso que he visto es yendo hacia Cataluña en coche, por la parte de Lérida. Hay una zona que, sobre todo por las mañanas, hay muchísima niebla, pero muchísima. Es bastante peligrosillo con el coche si no te lo conoces. Y flipas, ¿eh? Da bastante mal rollete. ¿Necesitas ayuda? Sobre los asesinatos... ¿Eh? ¿El incidente de la primavera pasada? No recuerdo nada de hace tanto tiempo. El próximo año me examinaré para entrar en la universidad. No tengo espacio para información inútil como esa. Parece que no vas a conseguir más información sobre los incidentes de la primavera pasada, ya que ahora solo tenemos que preguntar por sospechoso. Pues ahora que lo dices, mi amiga me contó que vio a alguien. Creo que está por la calle comercial. ¿Por qué no le preguntas a ella? Oye, hemos avanzado. Y bueno, aquí en mi pueblo igual. Y aquí en la montaña espesa aquella yendo a Madrid, es verdad. Pero no era tan bestia. O sea, lo de Lérida yo lo he visto más. La verdad es que sí da mal rollo. Y los accidentes que puede haber. Sí, porque la gente no sabe conducir en general. Pero bueno, detesto la de niebla que hay estos días. Es la temporada de verduras invernales. ¿Qué voy a hacer si la niebla es venenosa de verdad? Se me pudrirán todas las verduras. Y todo porque hay poca gente que coma verdura. Si al menos mi hijo dejara el plato limpio. Mi gente, hay que acabarse las verduras, ¿eh? No se deja comida en el plato. Respeten. Por eso voy a tener un coche verde. Vale, espera. ¿Eres tú? ¿Recuerdas a alguien sospechoso? ¿Eh? ¿Alguien te dijo que vio a una persona sospechosa? Esto... Ah, claro. ¿Te acuerdas de Saki Konishi? Ya sabes, la chica que murió hace un tiempo. Me dijo que ese tal Namatame se acercó a ella un día y le empezó a contar un montón de locuras. Algo sobre una tele. A saber a qué se refería. ¿Su relación con Saki? Oye, no sé qué estás insinuando, pero te equivocas. Saki era una buena chica, lo que pasa es que era una incomprendida. Parece que está hablando de cuando Namatame intentó avisar a Saki. Parece que la historia de que Namatame intentaba ligarse a Saki fue solo un malentendido. Parece que no vas a conseguir más información sobre los incidentes de la primavera pasada. Has recopilado toda la información que has podido. ¿Deberías ir a informar al grupo? Para distinguirlo mejor por el color verde. A ver, son más seguros, eso sí que es verdad. Gente, vamos para allá. Restaurante chino Aiya. Te reúnes con tus amigos tras terminar de recopilar información.
I'm seriously pooped. This stuff's a lot harder when you don't have a badge to flash. I walked around all day and didn't hear anything good.
It was the same for me. There was absolutely no talk about the case whatsoever, let alone the true culprit.
Ditto for me. Actually, in my case, I kept getting bombarded with questions and couldn't get them onto the main subject at all. The killer must be pretty good to have pulled this off without being seen by anyone in this small town.
What should we do?
Well, one steak bowl, please.
That's not what I meant. But then again, I guess we might as well take a break. I'll have a crab and egg fried rice.
I'll have roast pork ramen with extra noodles.
Todos habéis terminado de comer lo que habéis pedido.
Now that our tummies are full, let's share what we learned, even if it wasn't much.
Les cuentas a todos la información que has recopilado hoy.
So, to sum up, there really was no new information. The end?
The police had an unusually large number of officers in their initial investigation of the first two incidents. To find facts that even they overlooked would be difficult indeed, now that over half a year has passed. There wasn't a single report of suspicious persons being witnessed to begin with. Miss Yamano had ardent fans, whereas Saki-san didn't, but otherwise the conditions are the same.
You know, every time I tried to ask about the case, everyone ignored me and kept ranting about the damn fog.
Yeah, that or the Midnight Channel. I asked around about Teddy too, but no one's seen him. Gee, I wonder where he could have gone.
Do you have anything, Naoto? Any new, deductions?
Without any new data to work with, there isn't much I can do. But there must be someone in town who meets all the criteria for this case. The killer must have a connection to both Saki-san and Miss Yamano, as well as be in a position to observe our actions periodically to some extent. Finally, it must be someone who could approach Senpai's house without arousing suspicion. I need some fresh air before I give it more thought. I'll be outside.
Estar ahí sentado no te ayudará a pensar mejor. Decides salir para que te dé un poco el aire.
It's snowing. No wonder it's chilly.
It's freezing out here. Maybe this'll help clear my head and get my deductive muscles flexing. Hey, is it snowing? Too bad the fog's so thick. The snow just gets lost in it.
Tiene que haber algo que estés pasando por alto. Es urgente que superes este punto muerto en el que te encuentras. Ya deberías tener las pistas necesarias.
What's the matter?
Deberías repasar todo lo que sabes una vez más. El culpable tenía alguna clase de conexión con Mayumi Yamano y Saki Konishi. Y, por las cartas de advertencia, lo más probable es que conozca el otro lado y lo que habéis hecho allí. También es muy probable que supiera lo que estaba haciendo Namatame y se limitara a dejarle hacer. ¿Quién podría saber todas estas cosas? Otro elemento extraño en este caso es que casi no hubo testigos. Parece ser que entregaron ambas cartas de advertencia directamente en tu casa, pero nadie vio nada sospechoso. Tampoco se vio a nadie inusual cerca de Mayumi Yamano ni de Saki Konishi. Y eso que la policía desplegó un número inusualmente alto de agentes para investigar a conciencia. Debe haber alguien en este pequeño pueblo que cumpla todos los requisitos. Todo apunta a que el culpable es... ¿Quién es mi gente? Naturalmente, si ves solo las circunstancias, no se puede descartar del todo esa posibilidad. Adachi pudo haber vigilado vuestras acciones. Habría podido entrar en tu casa fácilmente y se conoce bien la zona. Si lo piensas, te lo has encontrado muchas veces a lo largo de la investigación del caso. También te enteraste de muchos de los movimientos de la policía gracias a Adachi. No hay ninguna razón concreta para dudar de él, pero hay algo que no te cuadra. No obstante, ¿deberías decirle a tus amigos que sospechas que Adachi es el culpable? Decirles lo de Adachi. Dices el nombre de Adachi en voz alta.
Huh? What about him?
Detective Adachi. A member of the police force. That is an interesting approach. It would certainly explain the lack of witness reports. It's the same reason no one ever reported seeing Namatame's truck.
This is a small town, so everyone must have known who he is. And since he's a detective, people definitely wouldn't have thought of him as being suspicious.
In fact, he could use his position to his advantage and hide critical information.
Huh. Well, if you think of it that way, I guess it's possible. But we're talking about Adachi here, right? I mean, really? Adachi? He's your textbook lousy detective. Are we really on the right track here?
Actually, regarding Detective Adachi, I'm not sure how to put it, but there's something that's been bothering me about him for some time now.
Yeah?
Perhaps it's just my imagination, so I shouldn't speak too...
It's cold. I think we've cooled down enough here. Let's go back in.
Adachi-san? That can't be. I mean, he said he came to escort Miss Yamano and...
What? Was he at your inn when the announcer was staying there?
When Miss Yamano was staying at our inn, the media were swarming all over it. That's when Adachi-san arrived, saying he'd been assigned to guard her. He told our waitress that fame could be rough.
Guard her? He didn't spend the night there?
Huh. I wonder if he knew Ms. Yamano.
I don't know about that, but I heard he did call out to a girl in my class. I found out this afternoon. But I thought, you know, that's just how cops are. So I didn't think it had anything to do with the case.
Detective Adachi also questioned Saki-san, the one who found the announcer's body, on numerous occasions. I heard it was because there was so little information about the case at the time, but it's certainly unusual to question someone with as strong an alibi as hers multiple times.
Then you think he had something else on his mind?
And that something is what connects those two victims to Adachi-san? Come to think of it, we've been running into that guy a lot, in all sorts of places. And every time he'd tell us what the police were doing before saying, "Oops, I said too much," and clamming up. Was that all to throw us off the trail?
It would be no problem for him to drop that warning letter into your mailbox either. Not to mention the fact that he can destroy any evidence that might point to him.
Constatáis varias rarezas que comienzan a proyectar una sombra de sospecha sobre Adachi.
Then, is it really Adachi-san?
Primero hay que corroborarlo.
This is still only a tentative theory. We should work to confirm it as soon as possible. This is Naoto Shirogane. Something has occurred to me about the case, and I'd like to get Detective Adachi's input on it. Huh? The transport? It's right now? Right, I see. Thank you.
What was that about a transport?
Detective Adachi is headed to the hospital to prepare for Namatame's relocation. We must head there at once.
Las cosas han empezado a moverse rápido. Sientes que te acercas cada vez más a la verdad.
Huh? What are you guys doing here? Hey, do you know where Dojima-san went? They told me he snuck out of his room again.
I assure you, we've made it clear to him several times that he needs to stay put, but he keeps going off on his own.
Jeez, with Namatame finally relocated, I was looking forward to going home.
So, he's been relocated. I've been wondering. You seem to be in a terrible hurry to get him out of this hospital.
Huh? Oh, well, yeah. I mean, we can't leave him here with Dojima-san and Nanako-chan around. Didn't you guys think so too? Hey, what are you doing here anyway? Nanako-chan's room is in the other wing. Don't you think you should leave before Dojima-san finds you? If he catches you, he'll start pestering you again.
Adachi, where's Namatame? There's been a lot of noise today for some reason.
Dojima-san, what are you doing here? Namatame's already been relocated. I was looking for you so I could tell you that.
You did what? Who authorized that? There's still more I need to ask him about.
Give me a break, Dojima-san.
Those first two murders have been bothering me. His motives are shaky and his alibi is rock solid. We closed a lot of loopholes on the basis of his testimony. But that part's still nagging at me.
Is this more of your detective's intuition? He's already been relocated. It's no use hassling me about it. And you kids should really get home too. You're gonna get in the way of police business.
What's gotten into you today? It's odd to see you taking work so seriously.
Come on! I'm always giving 110% when it comes to the job. You should get back to work too, Dojima-san. Your current assignment? Get better as soon as possible.
What are you all doing here?
We came to confirm something with Adachi-san.
¿Deberías preguntarle a Adachi sobre la desaparición de Yamano o sobre el interrogatorio de Saki? ¿Con cuál queremos empezar, chat? ¿Bonitos y bonitas? Sobre la desaparición de Yamano.
The time the announcer went missing? I can't say for sure offhand. It's not like I saw her or anything. That was months and months ago, too. My memory's kinda hazy that far back.
Deberías preguntarle a Adachi sobre el interrogatorio de Saki.
Why wouldn't I question her? She discovered the announcer's body. But she didn't know much about it, so I only talked with her once or twice. Was that all you wanted to ask? Well, I hope it helped.
¿Quieres preguntarle algo más a Adachi? Sobre las cartas de advertencia.
warning letter?
The one that was delivered to his house. It's in police custody now, correct?
I don't really remember.
Hey, what do you mean you don't remember? I gave it to you to take down to the crime lab for processing. You're telling me you forgot?
I'm sorry. Your accident was right after that, and what with one thing and another, it sort of slipped my mind. Besides, that thing was just a prank, wasn't it? Jeez, what are you asking me all this for? For crying out loud, what's this all supposed to be about? Dojima-san, you really need to get back to your bed. That's why your wounds aren't healing. And you all need to go home right now. Do you have any idea what time it is? I'm going back. I need to get to the station and report in.
Just one more thing, please. We know for certain now that the first two murders weren't Namatame's doing. Someone else killed them. Adachi-san, do you have any idea who that might be?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
'Cause we think it might have been you.
What? That's ridiculous! We already know Namatame's the one who put them all in!
What did you just say?
Put them all in. What's this putting them in business? Do you know something about the method behind their murders? Don't tell me that all that talk about TVs and whatnot from before was...
I see. Now I finally understand. To tell the truth, Adachi-san, I've been fixated on something you once said. Before I didn't know why, only that it sounded a wrong note to me. Do you recall when I read Namatame's diary? At the scene of Dojima-san's accident. At the time, I said, even the victims who survived and were never released to the public are written here. And in response, your words were, wow, then that settles it. How, I wonder, would that settle anything? At the time, the police had no idea that there had been other attempted murders related to the case. You had no reason to say such a thing. After all, there are countless examples of people disappearing for a few days. Yet when I read the list of names, you raised no objection. Odd, that. What do you say to that, Detective Adachi?
I don't know. I said I'm busy!
Wait, you son of a bitch!
Como tanto a Kanji, pero tanto.
Adachi! Ah, damn it! Adachi!
Buen grito, ¿eh? Los actores de doblaje son una locura, tío. Habitación de hospital de Namatame. Adachi tampoco está aquí.
What the? I swear he ran this way!
Damn it! Where the hell did he go?
Did you find him? I contacted security. Nobody's seen Adachi and there's no record of anyone leaving this area. So he must be still in this ward somewhere.
He's still here? But we looked! We didn't find him anywhere!
That bastard.
Dojima-san? For heaven's sake, what are we going to do with you?
Sorry. I got carried away.
Do you even want to get better? If you keep this up, there could be lasting damages. Have you forgotten how much trouble it caused you last time?
You're right. Sorry. You've got to find Adachi. I need to square this away with him.
hasn't left this ward yet? I don't think he would, but could he have...
Yeah, I think so. If he's the killer, he can go through, right?
You mean he went in through here?
We searched every inch in the direction he ran off. There's nowhere to hide. I don't think we could have missed him.
He was cornered. It's highly probable that he escaped there. If he does indeed turn up on the other side, that should prove beyond a doubt that he is the true culprit.
Damn. So I guess we were right. What do we do now?
Entraremos mañana.
I think it's too dangerous to go in from here. We're not 100% positive he used this TV, and on top of that, we don't know where it might lead. Let's go in from Jeunesse like always. It'll be fine. So long as we're ready for him, we'll crush that jerk in one strike.
El policía sumamente sospechoso, Adachi, estás un paso más cerca de la verdad. Por hoy os habéis dividido y habéis vuelto a casa. Mi gente, cómo me gusta Persona 4, es increíble, o sea, es que este juego es de verdad, creo que es mi JRPG favorito. Dicho esto, mi gente, ha llegado el momento favorito de todo el mundo, que es con toda la tensión, nos vamos hasta mañana. Como me encanta que los descubridores de la verdad sube como la pólvora, así, se nota un montón. Pues mi gente, nosotros lo vamos a dejar aquí porque es un momento muy de puta madre para dejarlo, en plan serie de misterios, y volveremos mañana 3:30 o 3 con Persona 4 Golden, ¿vale? Vamos a hacer directamente Persona mañana, Turbo Overkill quizá luego, pero vamos a meterle cañita al Persona, ¿vale? Muchísimas gracias por estar, mi gente, gracias a los que lo veis en YouTube, os recuerdo que estará subido al día siguiente como siempre, y nos vemos en el siguiente capítulo.